Welcome, everybody. Happy last trading day of the week, and tomorrow, 4th of July. And yeah, we're going to see how things are developing for weekly candle closes here on the SPY, QQQ, and everything else. And just waiting on Tracker to join, so I'll just get us started here with the SPY. So we're going to see that the 622 is pre-market price, and I'm looking for a weekly candle close that's basically above all of this previous resistance up here, the 613.23. And we can see that price might close this weekly candle today above all-time highs, and that is a very bullish thing. And then QQQ, we can see the same thing. It looks like it might be above every single level too as well, and close at all-time highs again. So are we going to just continue to melt up to resistance above here? That is one possibility, but I always think a back test of previous levels first before going higher is always a possibility. So that's why I never like to chase these kind of breakouts. So we'll see how that develops throughout the day. And it is a half trading day today too, so things are going to end around 12 noon. Around there, and we can go to IWM and take a look that it is gapping up this morning really nicely too, up 2.5 points, and it looks like it might even try to close the week back above this 702 fib. And if I put on the Ichimoku cloud for this too, it might even get towards the top of the Ichimoku cloud as well. So this is doing something very bullish in my opinion, and it's really showing that maybe IWM is really ready to rocket out of here and outperform everything else, which is going to be good for crypto. It's going to be good for Bitcoin miners and all the small caps and all that stuff. And just speaking of Bitcoin as well, we can go take a look at my linear scale chart, and it's pressing up against the resistance once again. So is it time to get bullish? Well, it's time to see if it wants to break. And I'm always cautious at resistance because it could come back down to that 105 again. But I think right now there is a strong possibility of breaking out. And the reason why I showed this on my X last night for you guys, and when we look at Bitcoin on my daily chart here, it's actually trying to tackle this final boss right here, right? This green level. And that is right there at 109,500, 109,600. And it already flipped this to a support, it looks like. It hasn't really done it before, this arc right here. And it looks like it closed the day above it. So even if it does back test like the 108, I think there's a strong possibility of it holding. So we are in final boss territory, in my opinion. And if it breaks, then we could go much higher and not even retrace at all. So this could be it. But we're going to take it one day at a time here because this is still resistance until proven otherwise. And I see Tracker, you joined. How's it going?
Markets close at 1 p.m. They're trying to screw us again, little retail guy, by not letting us have the whole, not even a whole week, not even 1 day off, 1.5 days off. So short trading day today. I do have my Bitcoin chart if you pull me up. So Matt's talking about the final boss at his horizontal line there. And it does look very much like his arc, his top arc there has become support. But if Matt, oh wait, am I not shared? I am shared. Here we go. Thanks. Bitcoins over here. So the thing I'm worried about is, and I've been posting this ever since yesterday afternoon, that maybe 109,741 is still acting as resistance. I drew up this Fibonacci extension from this 50% level from 93,001. Actually, I'm sorry, it's actually from here, 93,376. So wave one, wave two, and it kind of looks like we're at the wave circle one, the wave three sub one extension at the 618. And the 618 at 109,741 is acting as resistance. So even though we've got support all the way through here, I mean, maybe we just get to here. I don't know. I'm just concerned that we're not going to get over 109,741 today or even this weekend, that maybe Bitcoin could test back down to the top of my 16-hour 75 moving average, which would approximate this 382 at 105, 349. But usually after 618, the price gets sent back down to the 236, which kind of is like the middle of this channel trend line right here. And that kind of lines up with Friday next week, Friday, July 8th. Well, that's in 2 weeks. Anyway, I would love to be wrong. I'd love to see Bitcoin just break out. The thing that I kind of looked at is like how IREN was sort of stuck under the 764 here. So I'm worried that it wants to go back down to the 382, which is all the way down here. And then what else was like that? Well, Coinbase, we've been looking at that. And I'm throwing a lot of charts at you, but I'm kind of looking at them as sort of evidence supporting one idea that if we can't get a higher high than 382, the 381.66, then this wants to go back to 260.11. I'm like, well, how is that going to happen unless Bitcoin goes down? All right. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. Coin, it touched the Ichimoku, the 16-hour conversion line, and that is support, and we're higher than that, but it's still a lower high so far. So not confirmation that it's going to break out. I mean, the market's really good at this, right? The market's really good at bringing things right to the cusp of something and then making it so you have to guess. But then that's where you would go back to what Matt says, when the trend is your friend, and we are in a bullish trend. So, even if it comes back down to 7,000, that's like 6%. What did it come with? The 6.3% lower. Well, now it's 5.94% lower to this part. In the long run, it doesn't really matter. It's just if you are in and out trader like I am, then it matters more. And then my Tesla chart is what I usually talk about right now. And same thing on my 16-hour chart. Tesla, it wicked up to it put a toe right into the blue zone here. And this blue zone is determined by some Fibonacci extensions that I have seemed to have gotten lost here. But it went right up to that, and then now it's having trouble. This Ichimoku baseline in brown is resistance at 320.72, and I kind of joked around that maybe 320.72 is the antithesis of 420.69, but that's what we're stuck under right now, and we could be stuck under all day. Maybe we go back down to 305.52, you bastard, for finally a perfect touch of the 236. See how here price leapt over, it gapped up over the 236. Here it plunged through it, kind of came around, didn't quite test back to it, gapped around it again, went up through it. So maybe a perfect touch of 305.52 is what Tesla wants before we can go see Snoop Dogg up here and bang around at 420.69, ultimately reaching 430.89 and then back to 377.85. What say you, Matt?
Yeah, let's take a look at my chart here for Tesla, and what I'm looking at the most is right here. I'm looking at the Ichimoku cloud. I'm looking at the price staying inside of it, and I'm looking at this beautiful back test that we saw at 301.59 and wick below into the 300s, where I said that's basically a no-brainer. If price goes below 300, you got to scoop that up, and sure enough, I actually bought some TSLL down there when it was around 296 equivalent, and we can see that price has potential to even get back above the 319 and perhaps even back above the 702 right here, 321.32, right? So that's going to be the goal, to maybe try to get back above for today. Excuse me, to maintain that as a support. Because for the past 3 weeks in a row, it has closed above it. So if that trend can continue, then that'd be fantastic. So 321.32 is what I'm looking at for Tesla the most right now. And also, if it doesn't happen, just staying inside the cloud is fine, because it's just building a nice foundation inside the cloud here as well. So that's around 313 at the bottom. So good developments all around for Tesla. Lots of scary stuff out there, but just if you ignore it and watch the charts, it doesn't even matter at all. And I did want to also take a look at Coinbase to see how this week is shaping up to be. And for Coinbase, we can see that it is a little bit down pre-market right now, I think, because that's Coinbase, or Bitcoin is getting rejected at its resistance level, which kind of makes sense. But it's still holding a very, very nice zone. It just back tested that 340 zone that I was talking about for a while, wicked below it, and just stabilizing above it. And also, we can just put on the weekly Bollinger Band and see that price is still riding it as a support. and that is currently at 341.15. So this has potential, being above the 886, being above the weekly Bollinger Band, to continue its journey to all-time highs, right? As long as this maintains as support, as long as we see some expansion in the Bollinger Bands here at the bottom and the top, then we can actually just see this continue to be like what Palantir did and not really pull back much at all and just continue the journey higher. So I'll be watching that upper band this week, next week, and the weeks to come just to see how it starts to expand. And if you look at the monthly chart, the band is still above it, but if you look, it's not even really expanding on the bottom yet. So this has some power to go. Like this can actually start to increase and expand the bands a lot more on the monthly chart. So I am pretty bullish on Coinbase for the future, and I don't know if we're going to get a steep pullback at all with this stock.
All right, bless you, Matt, for that sneeze earlier. I've got I want to show my crow went off and said, check out NNE. Here's NNE on my 16-hour chart. I think this one's it's in wave 3 now. It's in the heart of the third wave. It's a great time to have it, accumulate it, get more of it. There is a chance that right now it's sort of stuck under the conversion line is pointing down a little bit, baseline, with prices under the baseline. So I'm looking for it's possible we'll get a test down at least to the top of this cloud here, about 3072 to 3141. But look and see if it doesn't drop into the cloud just to get a touch on the top of this moving average 300. So that would be about 2821, or even maybe a wick down to the bottom of the cloud, or this 23.6. But that would take it all. That would be like an extended wider flat of NNE. Anyway, heart of the third wave, that this is eventually going to go to 74.96, which is 123% higher from our prices right now on NNE. And then I know I owe I owe somebody a bull chart, a Webull chart. I have done this previously. Webull is, you can see it had like a nice high up here, and then like it got sent all the way back down to test. But from the all-time low here to the all-time high here, it's just fighting with the 11.4 boss. This is logarithmic scale. Sorry, let me just unlog that. It's fighting with the 11.4% fib boss. So once it gets over 1527, it can start to move up, and then it's going to test out at least the 236, and then eventually the 382. So I like it, Webull, for higher from here. If it gets sent back down, it gets sent back down to 1244. That should be support because that's where the conversion and Ichimoku are crossing right now. But look for 2412 next. Maybe it tests back down to 11.4. Eventually, it's going to, at minimum, it'll go to this 382 at 34.72, which from our prices now is like 135% higher. And then Matt can do. I'll show my rocket chart here.
And people want to see SBET too. A lot of people do. So.
Oh yeah, I can totally do SBET. SBET's kind of a wild ride as well. So rocket companies, it went to the 382. It lost the 236. It's trying to regain the 236. So at minimum, this should go to the 618. But I'm actually projecting it goes to the 786. So I could do a Fibonacci extension from here, from this AB now, but actually I'll just do it real quick. I won't go through all the numbers. I'll just say from here to here to here, approximately 382, 236, 764. It'll probably go like 2158 back to 1530, 1583, and then eventually you'll see 3088. 25, and then 43.73 lines up with the 100%. Oh, it reclaims its previous price up here. So yeah, Rocket looks good from here. You could buy it anywhere between now and, like I said, maybe 13.26 could be if it goes down a little bit. All right, back to you, Matt, and I'll work up the next charts here. Right. Oh no, SBET. I was going to do SBET. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll do SBET. Let's see. Here's SBET on the 16-hour chart. Now we need to go. Let's go to the 8-hour chart and continue. It's funny when you have to switch. I use the same chart, and then I go to a different screen. Oh, yeah, look at that candle. Volume. No, that's more like a 1 hour chart. All right, here we go. So SBET has completed a 1-2. It's now in its own little heart of the third wave. And ultimately, I see it going to the 141 retracement on the left, 1694, or the 123.6 fib extension on the right, 1623. My target's like 1673 to 1694 for this wave 3. It could pull back some more again if, for example, if Bitcoin pulls back and the whole crypto market, goes sideways over the weekend, probably, something like this, right? Maybe to this Ichimoku 1 hour baseline, about 1160. Maybe this 50% here on this side, or the 50% on that side. So like maybe it pulls back to $11 or $11.95. At worst, and at best, it just keeps on rocking. So let's see, from our prices right now, that'd be 28% higher to this wave 3. It pulls back shallowly to the 15 to 1520, and then ultimately the wave 5 goes to 2418 for the 2382, or the 2477 for the 2618 on the left side retracements. And then, as you saw a second ago, this chart, that's actually just, it has a secret level where actually it goes an entire order of magnitude higher again. So look out for that. I'm kind of trading SBET down the bottom here, but I'm planning on holding a position eventually and just letting it rock for a while. So there you go, SBET. It's got a whole secret cow level that goes even higher than just my mere up to $24.18 next. I mean, for all of wave 5.
All right.
Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I got a couple that I'm going to do. I'll start with Roblox here, just to show you what I'm seeing on my Gann chart. So it actually broke above the 786 fib, which is really bullish right there. And that's really the main thing to stay above. So if we are going to get a back test, at least staying above 94 or 74 is the goal. Staying above this angle is also the goal too, which is currently around 96. And you can see it's a previous resistance, previous support. So the momentum is there to continue the journey to the 114, but it's just been basically straight up. So I don't know if I would just be chasing up here. I would wait for some kind of pullback into perhaps the 90s before trying to continue to the 114. So it's been a very silent killer. Nobody has really been talking about it, but it's just been melting up day over day over day over day, or week over week. So I'm watching the 96 down to 94, just maintain that as support. And yeah, it's going to continue the journey higher. Grab, we'll take a look at that one too. We can see that price is trying to maintain this 382 fib, the 491. And this is the important level, right? Stay above that, it goes higher. And it's been battling that for a while as a potential support. And I think it's almost time to stabilize above it, especially after getting all that liquidity down below with this arc and the blue level down there. So now I think it's almost time, right? It did have a nice back test of the cloud. If you put on the Ichimoku cloud there, it went down towards the baseline. Nice little recovery, and now it's looking like it wants to continue the journey higher. So the goal, stay above 491, and if so, it goes higher. And lastly, I'll do SoundHound. And for Sound, we can see that it is 1068. The conversion line on the weekly chart is trying to break above it. Basically, pre-market it's 1124. We do have a lot more resistance above here, maybe around the 1260s and this 886 1290s. So that is going to be the next big resistance target. So is it really free and clear to break out? The answer is no, because there's a lot of resistance up here, but it's starting to really build a foundation on top of this 786. And as long as that stays as a support, then I think over time it will be able to eventually break free, but I think it might just be range bound for some time until it's really able to clear all of this resistance in the 13s, the 14s, the 15s, and even the 18s above. So one step at a time, and it is going above 1068. It's staying above 961. So as long as that continues, the trend can continue towards all this resistance above. All right, Tracker, back to you.
Let's see. My crow just told me that Bitcoin dropped below. It's right at the 1 hour Ichimoku baseline now. So I'm watching to see if it drops out of this down here to at least to 107,749 next. Um, let's see. Oh, I was going to ask you, are these ATKR and Exactor Asano, are those cryptos?
ATKR.
That
Let's see.
Yeah, I've never heard of
No, I think
ATKR.
it's NYSE. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've got CYFRF here next. Where I had it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. CYFRF Soul Strategies, as they've the name implies, they're doing the Michael Saylor of Solana. I'm looking at a wave one, wave two complete, going into the wave three. It's kind of price will probably want to stay. It's You can see on the 16-hour chart, the moving average 75 has been resistance, resistance, resistance. It'll probably still be resistance for a little bit. Maybe it gets up to the bottom of the cloud. But the longer it goes sideways, then the nicer the move up will be when it does eventually head for 605 to 606. The fibs agree on the left and the right really nicely here. So I like that a lot. So 242% higher from where price is right now to 605 or 606. And then eventually the wave 5 takes it to 1027 on the right, maybe 1116 on the left. Oops, don't move that. So yeah, CYFRF, I like this one a lot. Let's see, Kim wants a whole bunch of them. Yeah, let's just look at Palantir real quick because I'm kind of curious about that too. Palantir, we haven't got my 125.41 support test yet, but I believe it's coming. You can see price on the 16-hour chart has dropped below. It's oscillating around the moving average. I'm sorry, the Ichimoku baseline right now, oscillating around it. So we'll see what happens there. But I am concerned that we could see Palantir drop as low as I would typically expect for the 764 to go to the 382. So that's 105.43 or 21% lower from where price is right now. And then I don't know if I don't do Apple a lot. But Apple, it's also in the heart of its wave 3 now because my circle 1, circle 2 are complete. And so my wave 3 target is 325.12, or from where price is right now, 53% higher to the wave 3 top. And then this should actually go to the 100%. I don't know why it went there. All right, there we go. There's Apple. Let's see. I know a bunch of people want. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry about the space last night. That was a total bust. But Alberto and I are going to re-record a show with Jay this afternoon and then just post it. So you'll get the same thing, but without all the waiting around. Oh, here we go. I drew this for one of my subscribers. The hood chart that I've got shows the Three Stooges up here because I've got a minimum target of 106.27. I expect the 1382 at 111.85. But it's possible it goes to 141 up here at 117.37. So you got hello, Robinhood. There you go. So from where price is right now, about 17% higher to go. It could drop back down to the baseline or maybe even like 88, 89 here just to foreshadow this is being support later. But, otherwise, basically I'm looking for 1185. Though drops back to 88, 89. And then the wave 5 tops out here at about $172. Maybe it melts up a little bit, but 172 is what my fib extensions are calling for. I know Matt just did sound. Here's my SoundHound. I'm concerned. See, I've got this triangle here. You guys have seen me draw the triangles. The red triangles are going to be the temporary bearish triangles right now. And so on 1, 2, 3, 4, and so we could see it peek out the bottom of this, maybe touch this moving average 300 on the 16-hour cloud, maybe meets up right here at the 11.4% mini boss one more time. Doesn't have to. Maybe it stops at the bottom of this cloud or my moving average 35, maybe around $9.90, or it just breaks out from here and it never looks back. Ultimately, this is going to go to, at minimum, $15.26. So if it goes straight up from this morning, that's 34% higher. If it drops back down to the 11.4, that's a 70% gain to 1526. And then eventually it goes to, I had a minimum target of the 618 earlier. Anyway, I'm looking for 35.32 or from where prices right now, 209% higher to the wave 3 top. But this one still has a 1-2 to go. It's not in the wave 3 yet. All right, back to you, Matt, and then I'll get ready for the next ones here.
Yeah, I'll try that ATKR. I think I did it once before because I do have some fibs on here. And ATKR, we can see that price is actually going back up to this 1.414 fib, which is the 7730. And if you're curious what fib that is, that's from the January 2020 high and the low down here for COVID.
My God.
And it's actually really good fibs because it's been maintaining the symmetry of it all. So I'll be watching that 7730 try to break above, right? If it can do it, then it can get more bullish, but it is resistance still. So maybe it might need time to cool off before trying to go higher. So that's my resistance point, 7730. And then you got the baseline down below at 69.69. So that double 69 could be a back test before it tries to break this resistance above. So cautious at resistance, more bullish at support. I do see a Reddit as well, RDDT. So my Reddit chart is trying to get more bullish too, but guess what? It's in a resistance zone right now, 140.75. Did hold out support, so now it's at the 165.22, which just got rejected this week. And also the blue level of my GAN right there. We can zoom in so we can see it more clearly. Got rejected there. It's trying to get above the arc, trying to get above the baseline. We'll see how today's candle closes. If it does close above the baseline and the arc around the 157 zone, then this has the potential to actually stabilize in this tiny little formation here and try to break above. But it is a big resistance zone. It's an important thing to recover. Once it does flip it to support, then I think it goes higher. But until then, it might need to retrace a little bit more before trying to go higher. So I'll be watching this 155 to 157 zone for a weekly candle close today. Close above, it's got potential. Close below, everything is still resistance, and it could even retrace back down to the 140. We'll see how that develops. All right. Actually, I'll do one more. I wanted to update TTD because I haven't done that in a while, and I want to just point out the fact that
that's what I was going to do next. Go ahead.
It's actually trying to break above my arc here. So this is 7750, and that's what I'm looking at. A breakout. It already back tested the conversion line, so it is trying to get more bullish. It's inside the arcs here. So break above 7750 or so. Then the next target is 85, and then you got the 100s above here, and the green level does sit at 108. So good developments all the way around for TTD, in my opinion. And as long as it continues to stabilize above this conversion line there, I think it can break through this resistance one level at a time. So tracker, go ahead.
All right, here's my trade desk TTD. After here's the major wave 1 in December. Wave 2 was the April 7th low. So the 618 is where I'm targeting right now. It's like the 786 on the retracement side here. At minimum, it should go to the 382, then back to the 236. So I guess I should say at minimum, you'll get 25% more to 91.68, maybe test back to 73. I do see the moving average 300 is closing in on that 382, but I was hoping for 618, which would be 61% higher, back to the 382. No. We'll go to the 236. All right, well, we'll see what we get. Maybe this is going to... now I'm leaning to 382, 236. Let's see if it does. I'm going to just delete these. 24% higher, and see if it has to come back to $3 at 23.60, was where prices are right now. Then it would run to the 1236 up to... all these fibs just changed a little bit because I misdid the zero bottom back to here. But $200.93 for wave 3. Back to the 764, and then the 2236 is up here at 328.86. So trade desk looks really good. Oh, and then let's see, that would be 170% to the wave 3, about 342% to the wave 5. Trade desk is a darling of tech companies. Anyway, let's see. Oh wow, there's a lot of requests here. Let me do. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got SMCI because there's some requests for that, and Yeah, SMCI is actually looking pretty good. Back inside the weekly cloud, back above the baseline, back above a lot of things. We go to the SMAs, though, it's still getting kind of rejected by the 100-week moving average. So that's going to be something to watch for today's weekly candle close. 49.02, right? It is above it pre-market, but let's see if it actually can close the week above it and try to go higher. But currently it still is a resistance zone because last week could not break above. It couldn't break above before back in May either. So it might not be able to ready. It might not be ready to break free just yet. So what I'm really watching for SMCI is this 46 down to maybe even the $41 zone, the bottom of the cloud here. So this could be your new support zone if price did want to backtest. But being inside the cloud, being above all the stuff is very, very nice. And especially flipping this 50-week moving average to support, that's really a big trend reversal right there. So the chart looks fine. The chart looks like it does want to recover and it does want to break resistance. And if this 100-week moving average does get broken in the future, then we could look towards the previous wicks up here, 66, and maybe the top of the cloud, 70, or the 59 zone. This is going to be the next big resistance zone up here until it's able to break free of the cloud and then go back to the 80s. So, yeah, I think it's in the recovery stages, and it's probably going to be a more bullish stock going forward.
Very nice. I just want to say to the person who's requesting Oscar, we did Oscar pretty exhaustively yesterday. If you just go back and watch yesterday's show, you can see Oscar. I do have a GEVO chart here, and the really cool thing is GEVO, everything I'm about to tell you, it's just to retrace back to its 50% retrace level from when it hit 1557 here. So that said, the Fibonacci extensions I've got right here, the wave one, at minimum, it's going to go to 214 next at the 382, then back to the 236, then the 1236, 489, back to the 764 at 337, and then on up to 811, which matches up with the 50% retracement here, then the larger degree chart. Typically, I would look for like a 382, 236, 618 on any kind of retracement. That's the standard retracement. And it kind of looks like we're going to kind of get ish that if these fib extension levels hold out. So anyway, give a chart. I guess I just pull. It's 131% just to get to the 382. So GEVO's got from where price is right now to my wave, just to get to this 50% level at 802, that's 478% higher. I haven't looked at an Amazon chart in forever. I want to see what I can do with what I've got for this. Amazon, here from the January high to the April 7th low is my, and then from the, what is that, for 2023? So I'm looking for, at minimum here, we get the 382, which is where price is right now. Does it get sent back to the 236 at 199.40? It's possible. You can see my moving average 300 is down there. But other than that, if it goes higher, then the 618 is next for 260.93. That'd be a 17% move higher. And then if that's as far as it goes, it comes back to the 236 again at 199.40. Unless it can do a 764, then it comes back to the 382. But one crime at a time. Let's just see. Let's see if we can get higher than 222.92. Otherwise, it might get sent back to just under 200. Gosh. Oh, EOS, Rocket Lab and USE, and then I'll relinquish control. Rocket Lab, I do see this as having topped out for wave one. It already hit 764. It shouldn't go higher. If it did, there's something wrong with my chart, or the whole thing is about to collapse and make a new wave one, wave two, like a larger degree wave one, wave two. So anyway, I'm looking for Rocket Lab to pull back down here to the 382 at 25.36 on the right, or 24.44 on the left. Here I've got 26.95. I guess that's possible. Yeah, it could be 26.95 versus 25.36. But from our prices right now, somewhere between correction of 29% to 27%. I'm sorry, I read that backwards. 24% to 29% lower. And then EUSE, gosh, I want to do Invis, but I don't want to take up all of Matt's time here. EUSE, I'm looking for my wave 1, 2, and sub 1, 2 are complete. So it's in the heart of the wave 3 now. I'm looking for 1140 next, or 130% higher from where prices right now. It could drop just a little bit lower, maybe to 450. But by and large, I think it's going to hit these blue zones on the retracements back here. Here's the 14127, the 886, and the 702. So bing, 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 bing. And then 1140 it matches up with the 176.4 on the left with my 138.2 on the right. So there you go. Back to you, Matt.
I'll just finish the show off with my Rocket Lab actually, because I see something that has potential to just keep going, and I see it with the 34.95, the 1.272 is stabilizing above it, and the main thing I'm looking at is this angle, right? If this actually can break free of this angle, then perhaps it can just keep on going to the 45 up top. But right now it's kind of right on it, which is really maybe starting to get rejected. And last week it didn't go above either, so perhaps it does need to retrace. But I'm curious to see how it's going to close the week today, right? If it does close the week above, like maybe in the 3650s or higher, then this could actually flip back to a support, because it was a support before for a while back here, before it kind of bearish engulfing broke down. So reclaiming that would be actually really bullish. So that's what I'm watching. Maybe 3650 today, close above that, then this can get a lot more bullish. But if not, then maybe a retrace of lower. So it really depends on how things want to close today. So with that, guys, can't get to all these requests, but we will see you on Monday, and have a great holiday weekend.
Yeah, have a fantastic holiday weekend. Short trading today. No trading tomorrow. I'm sorry sometimes when Matt and I disagree, like Siskel and Ebert. I know I'm dating myself by saying that, but the two movie critics from the 70s and 70s and 80s. But it's very interesting when we do come up with a thumbs up, thumbs down, and we just have to see what happens next.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Great. Talk to you guys later. I'll be tracking Bitcoin all weekend long on X.
All right. See you guys.
See you guys.